And the Bible makes it very clear. I just want to read for you two scriptures, and then I want to speak to you. The Bible says in Galatians chapter number 6 and verse number 10, and Ephesians chapter number 2 verse number 19. Ephesians chapter number 2 verse number 19 says this: Now therefore you are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God. In other words, as you sit here this morning, you are sons and daughters of the Most High God. Come on, are you there? Sons and daughters. Say to your neighbor, I'm a son. I'm a daughter. You are sons and daughters of the Most High God. If you are a son, that means you have rights. If you are a daughter, that means you have rights. You have an inheritance. You have royalty running in your blood. You are a royal priesthood. And I want us to understand this morning that many people get born into God's family, but they don't take it further than that. You have to take it further than that. The distance between being saved and becoming a son is called discipleship. Let me say that again. The process between being saved and becoming a son and a daughter of God is called discipleship. You have to be transformed into the image of Christ. Romans chapter number 8 and verse number 29. The Bible says Jesus has got no other desire but to form Jesus inside of you. God the Father doesn't want to form you. He wants to form His Son. The Bible says, Paul says, it's no longer I that live, but Christ lives inside of me. And the life I now live, I live by faith in the Son of God. Come on guys, are you there? And so there's power in discipleship. I want you to understand that. But as you sit here this morning, you have been created for a very, very specific purpose. And all of us have got purpose. Are you there? When God sent you to the planet, He sent you because He had a purpose and it looks like you. But you will never realize your full purpose without realizing your potential. There are principles to your potential. Can I say that again? There are principles to your potential. As I stand here this morning and I look at all the gear that is around me, I can say, for example, to this iPad, but I don't believe that I should plug it in. I just believe I need to lay my hands upon it and then it shall work. No, not true. Because when Apple made this iPad, they had an idea in mind. They had a purpose in mind. The man that made it had the principles, how it makes or how it functions. Come on, are you there? Let me say it again. The man that has made it, or the creator, has the privilege to give with what he has created the principles, how to function it or to work with it so that it maximizes its potential. So I can take this iPad in my hand and I can say, I promise you it will not work. I have to put it into the socket, I have to charge it, and then it functions. Because I don't have the privilege of creating it, I am the one that benefits of that what He's created. You and I, as we sit here this morning, you don't have the option but to abide with the principles. The principles maximizes your potential. Are you guys with me? For example, you won't take a car like a Z4 or a Porsche and you take it off-road. No, it's not been designed to go 4x4, it's designed for speed. And so every Christian that is here this morning, you've been designed to live the discipled life. And you can say, I don't think so. Well, Jesus said it, that makes it true. I want you to understand as you sit here this morning, you are not, your circumstances, the events and the things that are happening to you, though they might happen to you, is still not definitive of truth. Our experiences is not truth. Many of us, we have taken what has happened to us as truth. This is not true. Truth is truth and is a person. Truth is not an event. Truth is a person. Come on, are you there? And so this morning as we go into it, I want us to understand, because discipleship means that I've given up my will and my will is swallowed up by the will of another. It means I no longer are the one that is controlling my life. I've given my life away. Come on, are you there? Jesus said it like this. He said, if you hold on to your life, you'll lose it. If you give it away and you give it for me, then you will gain life and life eternally. Come on guys, I know this might not be popular truth, but it still remains the truth. Jesus says all those that are believed in Him will become sons and daughters of the Most High God. We are called children of God. But again, you must move from being a child to becoming a son. Because creation is calling for the sons of God to be revealed. Come on, are you there? The sons of God. Please note that the sons of God to be revealed. You and I are no longer orphans. We are sons and daughters. We have received the spirit of adoption by which we may cry, Abba, Father. That's why I look at how you worship this morning and I tell you to lift your hands. Because you can tell a lot about a person the way they worship. If they stand like this all stiff, I promise you no breakthrough will come. If you stand like this, we don't need to impress you. You can go home. If you come here, lift your hands to God. Worship the Lord. This is not an event. This is called an altar. There's blood on this altar. There's prices that's been paid here. Are you guys with me? So when you come to church, worship the Lord your God. Give Him everything you have. Worship the Lord. Come on, are you guys there? Doesn't matter your background is under the blood. You can say, but I come from here, I come from there. Well, now you're here. Lift those hands and worship the Lord. The Bible says David worshiped the Lord with a shout. He worshiped the Lord with a dance. You have to know what you don't do right on earth, you're going to do right in heaven. That's right. And so if you don't worship the Lord here, I'm telling you, you're going to worship the Lord there and forever. And so I want us to understand Jesus wants lordship before He wants discipleship. Lordship is required before sonship is required. Because He doesn't want to be Lord of some, He wants to be Lord of all.